right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into Janmashtami. It's this incredibly vibrant and important Hindu festival, celebrated by millions with fasting, feasting, and these amazing displays of community joy. But, it all centers around one very, very specific moment in time. Which leads to our big question. Why? Why do millions of people all over the world celebrate a birth, not just on a particular day, but at a very specific hour, right at the stroke of midnight? It's a tradition that really mixes deep personal devotion with some pretty high drama.
Well, a big clue is right there in the name itself. Janmashtami is a Sanskrit word, and it breaks down really simply. You have Janma, which means birth, and Ashtami, which means the eighth. So literally, it's the birth on the 8th day.
Okay, so the 8th day birth of who? Janmashtami celebrates the birth of Lord Krishna. And in the Hindu tradition, he's revered as the 8th incarnation or avatar of the god Vishnu, who was born to protect the world from evil and restore what's known as dharma or righteousness. So let's start with the basics, the what and the when of this really unique midnight celebration. So the date, it's not fixed on our calendar like, say, December 25th. It actually moves around because it's based on the Hindu lunisolar calendar. The festival lands on the 8th day, that's the Ashtami, of the dark or waning phase of the moon in the month of Bhadrapada, which is why for us it usually falls sometime in August or September. And just so you have a reference point, if you're planning ahead, in the year 2025, Janmashtami will be celebrated on August 16th. But that still leaves the question, why midnight? And why were the circumstances of his birth so intense? Well, that takes us to an incredible origin story, the prophecy in prison. The story behind this midnight birth feels like it's straight out of a movie. It all starts with this terrifying prophecy given to a tyrannical king, Kamsa, that his own sister's 8th son would be his downfall. So what does he do? He throws her and her husband in prison. After unimaginable heartbreak, their 8th son, Krishna, is born at the stroke of midnight. And in that very moment, a miracle happens. The guards fall asleep, the chains fall off, and the doors swing open, allowing for a desperate escape across a raging river to safety. It's the ultimate story of hope born in darkness. So that powerful story is really the bedrock of the entire celebration. But how does that translate into the personal and spiritual rituals that millions of people perform? Let's take a look at the acts of devotion. For many devotees, the day is really structured around these 4 key pillars. It often begins with fasting, and the day is spent in prayer and song, all building up to that crucial midnight hour. That's when the main worship, the puja, happens. Idols of baby Krishna are bathed and dressed and placed in a cradle. And then, only after that midnight ceremony, is the fast finally broken when everyone shares blessed food together. But it's not all quiet, personal reflection. Oh no. Beyond these acts of faith, Janmashtami absolutely explodes into a vibrant, public festival of joy. A perfect example of this is the Dahi-Handi tradition, especially in Maharashtra. It's this incredible, energetic spectacle where teams form these massive human pyramids to try and reach and break a clay pot filled with curd that's hanging way up high. It's loud, it's athletic, and it's a joyful reenactment of Krishna's mischievous childhood. He was famous for stealing butter and curd. And what's so cool is how this one festival is celebrated in so many different beautiful ways. It really shows this unity in diversity across India. In the north, you might see these grand dance drums telling stories from Krishna's life. But in the south, there's this quieter, lovely tradition where women draw tiny footprints outside their homes to welcome the baby Krishna inside. And then you go to Eastern India, and the story is told through the incredibly elegant classical dance of Ras Leela. Okay, so we've got the incredible story, the personal rituals, and the huge public celebrations. But what's the so what? What is the deeper meaning behind all of it? Because really, when you get right down to it, Janmashtami is about so much more than just the festivities. It's a powerful reminder that hope can emerge from darkness, that righteousness will prevail. It's a celebration just packed with some really profound spiritual wisdom.
And perhaps the most famous piece of Krishna's wisdom comes from the sacred text, the Bhagavad Gita. It's a core teaching that says, perform your duty without attachment to results. It's this idea of selfless action, focusing on doing the right thing, not on what you're going to get out of it.
And that's just one piece of a much larger puzzle. The festival really calls on people to stand up for what's right, to uphold Dharma, and it serves as this potent symbol that good will ultimately triumph over evil. It's about finding courage and wisdom for our own challenges, and of course, strengthening those bonds that tie a community together.
Which brings us to a final, really thought-provoking idea. One of the most profound statements attributed to Krishna is his claim that I dwell in every heart. So, with all these incredible external celebrations and rituals that we see, the festival kind of leaves us with this powerful question. What if the most important search we can undertake isn't out there, but the one that's inward?